And what you said that you knew that you wanted to do a PhD. What made you realize that?
Yeah, so I actually skipped a huge key experience in my journey because, like I said, there was a lot of zigzags. So I also studied abroad in spring of 2020. We all know what happened in spring
Mm.
of 2020, so my trip was cut short. But I spent 6 weeks in Cuba, and it was also an amazing experience. For those who don't know, Cuba has a really robust healthcare system and medicine infrastructure, largely due to the US blockade. They've had to become sustainable in different ways. And so it was really interesting to be in a new environment and to see healthcare in a different way. Um, and I learned a lot about myself and about the world. But in that experience, I saw myself just having more and more questions and wanting a way and a place and an opportunity to be able to answer them. And then I also had a professor at the time who had gone on the trip with us. And she gave me feedback on one of my assignments. And she was like, if you do not get a PhD, I will bully you until you do. Which a professor definitely should not be writing on any student's assignment. But I think that really did solidify it for me, being able to have someone who was on the other side see my thought process in action and be like, yeah, like you would be really good at this, your knowledge would be really valuable, was really validating. Especially for me, I'm the first PhD in my family. I don't really know a lot of other PhD holders in my family. There's a few, but they're more extended. And so to have that support was really impactful, and kind of put me on the right track to then think through the application process.
Yeah, it truly is validating, and I think like that's why it's so important. Like looking back on whatever wherever we are in our journeys, is just to like say those kind things to people, and like maybe you're thinking something, just say it to them because you never know how impactful that thing that you write on someone's paper or tell someone is to that person. So just be kind.
100%.
Okay, so earlier on, you were saying as you're going into your PhD, you weren't sure if you wanted to focus specifically on policy. And then you also shared that you chose this program, or you like the program that you're in right now at the University of Minnesota because it allowed you to do both maybe the policy and the sociology of health and illness. So tell us more about like that thought process and how you came to deciding this program was the right fit and how you envision this maybe like taking it forward as opposed to like just that policy specifically.
Yeah, so I truly stumbled into this. This seems to be a pattern for me. I had a long list of schools that I was interested in their program. I had narrowed it down a little bit, but I was like, I still need to narrow this down more. I'm not really sure how to go about this. And it was a broad range of programs. I had everything from medical sociology to like just traditional public health. I had health services research. And so they were kind of all over the place. And I was like, I don't know, like, I just want a PhD. Um, but I think the biggest advice that I have for folks applying to PhDs, because this is what I ended up doing, was A, really look at the classes that are being offered. And so I looked at the course list. I was like, I don't really want to sit through half of these. I'm not going to go there because I would sit through them and be miserable. And then also understanding that a PhD is a huge investment. This is 4 to 5 years plus of your life. And so there was a lot of schools on my list that I was like, I don't actually want to live in this location. And so I ended up cutting my list significantly. And I actually wasn't going to apply to this current school, but my master's advisor at the time is an alum of this program and spoke really highly of the program and of the faculty and attested that I would be a really good fit. And so I trusted her. I applied. My logic was apply and let them reject you. Like, I don't need to reject myself from these institutions. And
Mm-hmm.
so I kind of just applied. And I was like, we'll see where I get in. We'll see which gives me the best financial package. Also, too, I wasn't opposed to working for a year or two and then applying again if I didn't like my options. But I ended up applying. I ended up getting in here. I liked the package that they offered me. And realistically, I didn't want to work. I did really want to be a professor, and I needed a PhD to do that. I've now since changed my career aspirations, but that is okay. So yeah, with all of that, I just kind of stumbled into this, and it has been a journey again of just being able to, explore myself, explore my interests, and have that evolve again based off of my experiences.